Tara, good win on the weekend. I guess consistency with how tight that top four is at the moment. I mean, this is one you really want to get to keep that consistency going, isn't it?
Yeah, I think when you look at the ladder this year compared to where it was last year, we know that every win matters, every goal matters. That for and against, I'd say, by the end of the season, we'll be coming into it. At the moment, I feel like everyone's a game clear of each other, but we're still reaching for the top two. We'd love that double chance at finals, and I think this is obviously a big danger game. We saw Giants play really well last week and get a good win. We've got to make sure they don't do the same to us.
And you've had some unpleasant trips down to Sydney to play the Giants, as we know. It's sort of that one you just want to get in there, get the win and get home, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like I was thinking about that again last night. I think that fire in the belly after what happened last year in Sydney means that I'm so motivated to beat them down there again. I think we've seen that crowd can be really quiet when you get on top of them early, so we'll be trying to do that this week. What's dangerous about the Giants, do you think? As you said, they're a lot better than the ladder suggests. Yeah, 100% they're better than the ladder. I think when you look at them each week, they've got better and better. Obviously, they've had some changes in that defensive end, but we just put people out of position, but I think you're seeing them play really well down there too. In the shooting end, you can never write off Jo Harton. I feel like she can bring so much to a game, and she's probably their barometer a bit. So I feel like in goal defence, goalkeeper, we've got a big job this weekend to make sure we keep her quiet.
Because it's not the sort of game you want to lose, is it? Against a team that's only won 2 all year.
No, absolutely. I feel like no matter what, we don't want to lose to anyone, but I think especially when there's that split in the ladder, we've got to make sure that we're staying above them and sitting on top. They're obviously a team, I feel like they can beat anyone. We saw them beat Thunderbirds when maybe it was a game that they wouldn't have expected to win, but I feel like now we've seen what they can put out there. We've got to make sure, I think to get on top of them early, we know they're a 2-point team.
And it'll be a bit different for the shooters this week because Casey Corpoa has only just come back a couple of games. Is she someone that you looked up to as well, maybe not one of the Kiwis, but just you must admire the way she was playing back 2019 and then comes back now 5 or 6 years later.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like Casey Kapua was someone I did watch when I was growing up, and she used to be probably the best defender in the world at one point in time. And I think as much as maybe she's changed a little bit since then, she's so smart. And I think watching footage on her this week, she's setting up people, giving them confidence in front of her, and she's still making the play from the back. So I feel like our moving circle, though, can beat anyone. And I feel like Cara Conan on the baseline, no one can beat that.
Cara was good on the weekend, wasn't she? Firebirds game. When she's on fire, we see why she's an Australian diamond.
I feel like Cara's great every weekend. I think the thing about this weekend was, 100% she shot at that 100% total, but I feel like for her, that movement, that confidence she gives everyone to give the ball, it doesn't matter whether she's got physical defenders on her moving, tall, short, I feel like she just carves circles around them, and I feel like that's our biggest strength is we have her down there who can play a holding game or a moving game for us, and we'll definitely exploit that again this weekend.
It's a pretty tough run home for you guys. Do you think a dominant win against the Giants would really set that momentum ahead of the tough road home?
Yeah, I know. Looking ahead, there is a lot going on for us at the end of the season, a few away trips, a couple of home games as well, but I feel like, as I said, I guess they're at the bottom of the ladder at the moment, but for us, we need every win to matter. We want this one, but we also, looking ahead, we want the next 4 wins as well to make sure we're going into finals really confident and as high as we can on that ladder.
The other thing, I think it was West Coast had a surprise win on the weekend. I think the Swifts, they beat the Swifts in Sydney. That if those teams keep winning, you've got to keep winning as well, because that top 2 is going to be so important, because it could be the difference between playing a semi-final here against the West Coast Fever or going to Perth to play the West Coast Fever.
Yeah, and I think we had that experience last year. I feel like it probably wasn't a shock to me that Fever did beat Swifts. I think, yes, Swifts have had a great start to the season, but I feel like everyone's beatable in this competition, and Fever are a great matchup against them. I feel like as much as they could keep winning, you never know what they're going to happen at the end of their season as well. So I guess all we can control is us. We definitely want to win as many games as we can going into finals to make sure we're feeling confident. But no matter what the results are, we'll learn a lot over the next few weeks to take into that.
Hey Belinda, as Tara said, potential for a danger game this week, because the Giants obviously are a lot better than the ladder suggests, and they had a good win. Do you always have that little sense of nervousness in the back of your mind in a game like this?
Yeah, definitely a danger game for us, and I think exactly what you said. Giants have been pretty good all season. There was just little lulls in their game that have probably teams have pounced, and I feel like that win last week definitely gives them belief to head into our game this weekend. So we'll have to be very consistent and be on our game the full 60 minutes.
First time going there since the famous scoreboard disaster too. some memories you'd like to erase, I guess, going down there this time?
Yeah, absolutely. But it did give us some real fire in our belly after that week, and I think so. Probably using it as some pre-game motivation will be handy for us because the girls were really riled up against that scoreboard technicality error. So we might use it in the change room beforehand.
Tara still sounds like she's a bit dirty on it when she was talking. I don't know if you heard her, but yeah, she's not real happy with it still.
Yeah, look, it is been and gone, but the girls. They definitely got fire in their belly after that one last time. But I think a new year, a new lightning, and I think we've got a lot to play for other than scoreboard technicalities.
What do you tell, say, Steph and Cara and Riley about Casey Corpoa and in their defensive end, because she's brought a lot to that team?
Yeah, Casey's been doing really well. I think she's got a real presence in that defence line. She shows great leadership out there, and she's bringing the best out of the other Giants defenders. And she's got a great defence over the shot. So although Kazi shot at 100% last week, I think just turning to the post, getting the ball up nice and early will be very important for our shooters this weekend.
Is it hard to prepare for this team, given that you had a pretty big win over them early in the season, but obviously they've come a long way since?
Yeah, they've definitely come a long way since that round, and I think they will go back and reflect on that. I think Cara was particularly good in that game as well, but I think, again, for us, we proved it in the Firebirds game that we used all 10 of our bench, and I think we'll read the game, but we've got firepower to go to all around the court.
Who do you think in the team presents the biggest challenge for you guys?
Oh, that's a good question. I think, Jamie Lee's very strong through that mid-court for them. But I think, Jo Harton showed exactly what she can do last week. She played on LaTanya Wilson and very smartly used her body to create great space and was a great target for them. I think Sophie Dwyer's also been building her game as the game goes on. You can't go past their 3 threats in the super shot period as well. I think they've all been particularly accurate from that area. But we also have threats in that power period as well. And I think it's important for us to hold our nerve in that period. Although they're shooting a lot of twos, we build really nice score by combining our 1-point and 2-point netball game. And I think we're ranked number 1 for the actual score in that 2-point period. So we'll definitely take confidence from our ability to score in that period as well.
And you just alluded to Jo Harton. She seems like the sort of player that she can win a game off her back. She doesn't like to lose when you hear her comments. So, as you said, someone you do definitely need to keep an eye on.
Yeah, look, and I think we'll see how that goes with Jo. I think she is that great leader in their attack line. We've got Courtney or Ash that can line up against her, so I think we've got those tools in our toolkit. She also played a bit of goal attack last week, so Tazi could very much line up against her, but I think all of our defenders are capable of that matchup.
I think Courtney's getting back to the Courtney that we know. We know that injuries hampered her last year, and I enjoyed her press conference after the Queensland Firebirds game where she was talking about she nearly gave it away, and last week where she said the Lightning staff helped her through it. But she made the team of the week last week. Is she getting back to that Courtney that we know? Yeah,
I think she's definitely building. Obviously, game time helps that. But I think she is the queen of footwork. I think once her footwork is back to where it needs to be, she can win ball for our team, and I think she complements the other defenders in that circle. She combines really nicely with Ash. She played out in front at GD with Ash behind or behind with Tara in front. So it's really great to see Courtney getting back to her best.